Hello everyone, my name is Vikky and today I'll be watching Attack on Titan Season 1 Episode 11. So we finished off with Pixis listening to our main group of characters. He believes them, he wants to see Eren move that rock so they might retake, I think it's Trost, the name of the village. I think that's the pronunciation, I'm not entirely sure. We had an amazing moment for Armin. He had his speech and he was finally shining. Basically, looking from a bigger picture, nothing of that significance happened. So there's not a lot I could predict what will happen in this episode. So I guess for the purpose of this video, I'll just jump into watching it. I also wanted to say that I also will try to upload this episode on I think it's a BitChut or something like that. That site which you recommended to me, I'll try on that site. I've heard that some videos have been taken down, so we'll see what happens. If my videos will be taken down from there, I'll probably just leave it as it is. There's nothing much that I could do about that. But I'll still try that site out and we'll see if it's because I want to find a reliable way of uploading full-time reactions, because I don't want to constantly go back and if a video is taken down then find another way and upload it, and then because this consumes a lot of time. Imagine having, I don't know, 30 reaction videos and then each video being taken down, and then you have to go back and find a new way to upload that, and then if it's taken down again, you have to re-upload it. So, but I'll give it a try. Why not? So yeah, I'll jump into this video. What is she? That's true. Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy who wanted to kill himself, right? Oh. Oh. A revolt? Of course, they have families.
もし人類以外の強大な敵が現れたら、人類は一丸となり争いをやめるだろう。お主はどう思う？その強大な敵にここまで追い詰められた今でも一つになったとは言い難い状況だ。
Yes, I was thinking about that actually.
そろそろ一つにならんとな。戦うことも難しいじゃろうて。エレン。 任務に集中しろだと。あいつめ、上官に向かってなんて態度だ。
No, he meant something.
ミカサもアルミンも無事だろうな。お主もやるか。頂戴します。
I thought so. Oh, he's loud.
成功目標は破壊された扉の穴を塞ぐことである。塞ぐ手段じゃが、まず彼から紹介しよう。訓練兵所属エレン・イエーガーじゃ。 極秘に研究してきた巨人化生体実験の成功者である。彼は巨人の身体を生成し、意のままに操ることが可能である。巨人と化した彼は全門付近にある例の大岩を持ち上げ、破壊された扉まで運び、穴を塞ぐ。
He won't be able to transform, probably.
通常より多数の人間に反応して迫ってくるので、それを利用して大勢でおびき寄せて壁際に集めることができれば、大部分は巨人と接触せずにエレンから遠ざけることができると思います。
Armin has a larger IQ than a lot of these soldiers together. That's a great plan.
それに穴から入ってくる巨人との戦闘も避けられません。そこは精鋭班の技量にかかっています。
よし、わかった。そこを踏まえて練り直そう。人類はついに巨人を支配したのか。嘘だ。そんなわけのわからない理由で命を預けて
This guy lost his mind.
俺たち使い捨ての刃じゃないぞ。人間兵器だとよ。あやかしにき。俺も。
Whoa, they're quitting.
俺も降りるぞ。いいな、反撃者ども。今この場で叩き切る。
Okay.
わしが命ずる。今この場から去る者の罪を免除する。の恐ろしさを知った者はここから去るがいい。そしてその巨人の恐ろしさを
What's wrong with her?
兄弟愛する者に味わわせたい者もここから去るがいい。
Oh, this looks creepy.
それだけはダメだ。娘は私の最後の希望なのだから。
といえば聞こえはいいが、要は政府が抱えきれんかった大量の失業者の口減らしだった。
I thought I was right then, yeah.
皆がそのことに口をつぐんでおるのは
His grandfather.
外に追いやったおかげで我々はこの狭い壁の中をのはどうじゃ。このウォールローゼが破られれば人類の2割の口減らしをするだけじゃ済まんぞ。我々はここより奥の壁で死んではならん。どうかここで死んでくれ。
An interest. It's actually a great speech.
俺の役割は理解している。
He had some solid points.
ものかもしれないけど、それでも成功させなければならない。
諸君らの任務は一つじゃ。エレン・イエーガーの護衛につき。
司令、一つよろしいでしょうか。
なんじゃ。
人間兵器とやらは本当に機能するのですか。あなただって疑念を抱いてるんでしょ
困ったな。お主らそんなに巨人に負けるのが好きか。お供に何としても勝ちたいんじゃ。
I really like Pixis.
私たちも同じです。
ならば彼にかけるしかなかろう。お主らの言う恐ろしく曖昧な根拠だけが巨人に勝ちうる唯一の可能性なんじゃからな。人類の命運は託したぞ。
There's definitely a reason for him being in this position. He has great leadership skills.
主は酒の味がわかる。美酒も悪酒もどちらの味もの。
Interesting.
エレンに全ての責任を
Oh, he won't be able to. I think that will happen.
前には正解を導く力が。
He won't be able to change, man.
俺はそれを信じるよ。
エレン、やはり私も。
ついてくるなんて言うなよ。
たらまた。
いい加減にしろ。俺はお前の弟でも子供でもねえ。そう言ったはずだ。
This was a bit rough.
赤間、お前もイエーガーを守る精鋭班に入る。お前の腕が必要だ。
This will be interesting.
エレン、体は大丈夫。
ああ。
エレン。
だから大丈夫だって。囲まれてた時よりだいぶマシだ。今見える限りでは巨人はいない。皆がうまくおとりをやっているんだろう。
Oh. Because said, oh, I hope no one falls. Oh, they act like babies.
待て
What are they doing?
まだだもう少し
Uh,
血の通った人間だ。訓練兵時代から同じ釜の飯を食ってるやつもいる。そんな彼らの多くが今日あんたのために死ぬことになるだろう。あんたには彼らの死を犬死ににさせてはいけない責任がある。
やってやる絶対に
I hope he will.
進んだ分だけ人類は後退を繰り返し領土を奪われ続けてきた。しかしこの作戦が成功した時人類は初めて巨人から領土を奪い返すことに成功する。
緑の演弾を確認。
我々人類にとっての大きな進撃になる。
Has he succeeded? Please say. Yes, he did it. Yes. I was so scared that he won't do it. Let's go. That's true. Is he smaller than before? Oh no. I knew something like that would happen, man. Ah. I said that I had bad feelings about this. It's not exactly what I expected, it's even worse. So basically, my assumptions that he can't control this were true. He works on his instincts, and probably because he overused this thing now, he couldn't control it. He doesn't have probably enough energy to control this, and it's probably really hard to insert something like that into a creature who works on instincts, like pick the rock and carry it on the other way. That's what I'm thinking, what's happening here. Like as I said, Eren is still like my favorite character, and it makes me so like I expected something like that. I always had that fear that something like this will happen, but still it makes you angry. Like, could it be the fact that he was thinking that when he said like, oh, Titans are not the only enemy, the humans are also, that now this Titan automatically feels his thoughts that the humans are also dangerous to him, and because he basically punched her. He didn't act like a normal Titan, he didn't grab her and eat her. Like, on the other hand, you could argue that we haven't seen him hit her, so could there be another reason for that? Did he punch another smaller Titan? I hope that could be true, but knowing this show, I don't believe so. I don't know. It's hard to make super big, extreme assumptions now that I think of it, because they basically, I think they haven't shown, but she was surprised, and I think she was standing there where he punched, so I was... Now if this really happened, then the whole, like, everyone will hate on Pixis, on everyone. Like, there's no way that he can now convince anyone that he has good intentions. Like, they put everything, like it was interesting to me for how long they actually squeezed every single moment of this preparation for the battle. Like, again, in terms of time, not a lot of time passed, but they like squeezed everything out, like pointing out that these people have families, that everything is in his hand. Like, every single thing was just putting pressure on Eren. And the worst thing happened. Like, this is probably the worst thing. If he attacks the humans, it's over. It's the worst thing that would happen. Like, especially if he now damages Mikasa. In worst case, if he kills her, I don't believe that. Could he kill her? I mean, everything is possible. I still think she's too good to be killed by a Titan. But his Titan is better, we have to know that. I should have expected something like that. I expected that he won't be able to transform. But not that, like, with that he becomes a public enemy, like, not even him, like, also Mikasa and Armin, because they're defending him, so, and then that captain will be proclaimed that he was right about Eren in the first place, so. But at the same time, looking from my story perspective, I need to applaud this, because, like, Pixis was this fantastic character who was your typical mentor. He seemed like a mentor figure, the older dude who knows everything, and he did, like, he convinced everyone. He was charismatic. He had an amazing speech. He was convincing everybody to do that, to die there, and he took the risk, and he was so self-confident. But at the end, it's great to see that this is not another magical older guy figure who, when he appears, everything goes all right. If you know what I mean. He was wrong on this one, actually, and I'm pretty interested into what will this mean for him. Could he lose a rank or something? I hope this is not true, but who knows, actually. Go, of course, through the episode. Like I said, this episode, which I really appreciate about this episode, about this show in general, like, I can see that some people would say that this is extremely boring to watch so many people see their thoughts, what they think, but I really like this, because this is war. It's not only about our main characters. You have to know that each action they do affects everyone, the whole population, the whole army, and that's what's great about this. To see someone trying to quit, to see that not all people, like, sometimes in some shows you see the population act as our main character does. Here you don't. Here you see that they're real and that they have feelings, and they would rather die with their families than here, and you cannot argue against that, right? And that was the beginning, showing different people struggling. An interesting thing was shown that they can be executed. I didn't know that. They can be actually executed if they don't follow the rules. And this reminds me of what actually Eren and Pixis were talking about, which also I had thoughts about this exact thought in episode 2 when Eren was getting beat up by a soldier, that it's interesting that even in a world like this, when they're having a greater enemy, they're not connected as someone would expect. And that was a great thing that Pixis and him were pointing out. Humans are fighting against each other, and that will always happen because we don't have the same thoughts. No person is the same. We will always argue as humanity. But it's true that you would expect in moments like that, because they know that here's no countries, no races, here's just being a human or not being a human, and they should step together. But of course it's hard, it's reasonable what they were doing, especially putting the fate into Eren's hands, and it backfired, so they were actually right. So this episode did that masterfully, like putting so much pressure on Eren and showing what their feelings, what could happen if they lose. A lot of, like, that guy who in the previous episode wanted to kill himself. Again, he wanted to quit. Also, we've seen Sasha, she was again super worried. I'm really curious, like, we haven't seen her in a while. Did she experience something in the previous in some previous episodes, which I don't recall, that she seems so traumatic? That's a thing I will keep an eye on. Pixis then came there and had his speech where he had a great speech. I actually have to go now somewhere. You'll probably see me in a different outfit. I'll continue this. See you soon. So I'm back. I think I left talking about the speech which Pixis had. So it was shown that many people were inspired by his speech, and also I said that he had some really solid points, and it was a great speech overall. He greatly uses the shock value to gain people's attention. Like he said, if you encounter the Titan, you can go, you know. If you want that to happen to your families, you can go, you know. He got their attention in talk and basically said that, yeah, that in these circumstances, you will probably all die at one point by the hand of a human, or maybe because of hunger. So if you know that you'll die, why don't you die here doing a mission which could potentially make their chances greater to win eventually, which would mean that then there is a possibility for a safer future for humanity, which then means your family. After that, Armin made that interesting plan on how to distract the Titans, and I'm really it's interesting that no one thought about this before. It just shows how clever Armin is, and at the same time it shows the lack of knowledge people possess about Titans. Pixis then talked and made his elite group of 3 soldiers which would protect Eren. And also then, again, he displayed a great ability to have a speech, to lead. Like, he used the shock value again, like he said. He wants to win, like, and they were like, oh yeah, we want to win too, we don't want to lose. And then he convinced them to guard Eren. That woman, I think her name is Riko, she's the only one which I remember the name of all of them 3, then proceeded to talk a lot to Eren. Like she stated that each person has a name, that the whole fate of them is in his hands. She was basically talking again the whole like message of this episode. Like I said, the whole episode basically showed that these are all humans. While they're running towards their goal, we've seen in the city some people being inside, and now looking back in editing, they said that there is a decoy squad. That's what I was confused while watching, but still I didn't know that they needed a decoy squad, because at first it was shown that a lot of Titans were already attracted to that wall and a lot of people were standing there. And especially that scene was super like creepy. I don't want to see anyone fall down the wall. Like, have you seen them like wanting to grab those people, all of those Titans? I have a feeling that of course some will fall in the next episode, but I just don't want to see that happen. And then of course we came to that scene when Eren transformed and attacked Mikasa, which I already talked a lot about in my post-reaction thoughts. So yeah, I think I covered like most of this like through the story, because as I said, like nothing significantly again happened. They showed a message over and over again, and I think they succeeded in a way that I really felt nervous at the end. Hope I haven't missed anything, but basically yeah. Like a lot of scenes were super long, which like when Riko was talking, her speech was really long, and I'm not complaining about that, I'm just saying that I cannot comment a lot about it because she basically told the whole message of this episode in that speech. Now to comment on those info cards in this episode, they basically showed us that the whole weight of your body is super important while using this 3D maneuvering tool. and they show that the belts are all around your body, so you can completely and quickly move around and turn around. This doesn't show us a lot of information, but there's some nice little details which just furthermore explain how these tools work, and this just expands the whole lore of this show. I'll make my predictions for the upcoming episode, and I expect, now looking back at it, it really seems likely that he really punched her, so that's a bad sign. I guess they will now attack Eren. So here's the interesting thing, right? I think that when he came the first out of a Titan, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I surely was thinking about it. He was inside the back of the neck, right? So that means basically he is at the weak spot of the Titans. So is that an indicator that this Titan is also like, if they kill this Titan, does he die? That's a thing. If they hit a weak spot, even if he doesn't die because of the weak spot, he still can die just because of the fact that basically he is in the weak spot. So if you understand me, so even if they cut at that point and the Titan doesn't die, the blade could still hit his head, you know. So anyways, his life is in danger now. Mikasa's life is in danger. Here's the other thing. Probably those elite soldiers could come back at some point, because now it's been really a long time since they left, and they left in the morning. So there's a great chance that they will come back right now and attack Eren. And they could potentially beat him, even though he's a stronger version of a Titan. They're also elite, so that would be pretty interesting to see what will happen, definitely. Now to grade this episode, I'll give this episode 8.3. I think the goal which this episode wanted to achieve was achieved. Like, it made you feel pressure, it made you feel nervous for everything that will happen. So, but still, I think that if you look now, the past, I think now 3 episodes, we basically, time seems like to not have passed a lot. You can make some episodes where everything goes really slowly and nothing significant happens, but this episode felt the most dragged out, you know. I still enjoyed every part because I love all the details and I love them to talk about it. But looking from an objective perspective, I think some things could be shorter. I just think that in the last 3 episodes the story has not progressed a lot. So I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining why I think that this episode deserves 8.3, but it still serves its purpose. I enjoyed it and I liked it. So if you have enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. If you haven't seen any of my other reactions yet, you can check them out. Hope you did enjoy this video. As always, feedback is massively appreciated. Have a great day and see you soon.